Hello, James here. I hope you have a good day on this beautiful weekend. Well, got some scoop on about Dr. Umar, new content on him from different content creators. So, we sit back and enjoy it. I'll make my commentary afterwards.
He's been talking about lately, then you must be under a rock somewhere, right? This man went on, he went on a podcast recently, Daily Wrap Up Crew to be exact, and started spewing a bunch of nonsense, blaming black men for the state of the community, he acknowledged and then ignored at the same time all the environmental factors that went into everything that black men have become. And in spite of all the things that black men have had to endure, black men have pretty much triumphed over a lot of it. We've changed our ethnic image. The amount of prison incarceration rate and all that has gone down. The amount of black men who have children out of wedlock has gone up. So in the face of all that, he still continues to blame black men for everything that's going on in the world today. No different than any white supremacist, he's only wearing blackface. And that's just my opinion. Because that's the same thing that they do. Blame all this country's problems on black people. You're blaming all the community's problems on black men specifically. So let's take a look at Mr. Umar Johnson. You know, it's funny that he takes people for a fool. So today I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Now, here is the Wikipedia page on Mr. Umar Johnson, right? So we can take a look at this. And from there, matter of fact, let me go back. Let me get the right screen up here. Nope, it's not the screen I want. Here we go. Gotta build it while I fly, you know what I mean? So here's the Wikipedia page on Mr. Umar Johnson. Give you his brief family history. You know, you can't take everything on Wikipedia, but some people put in some good information. As far as I know, he's a self-proclaimed doctor of psychology. We have yet to see any credentials on it. This man has not displayed his plaques or showed his transcripts, so I'm going to take what they say on Wikipedia as a grain of salt. But the bombshell, and the thing that I want everybody to look at, is this right here. Now, when you go to fdmga.com, you'll see that here's this nice little website here. Let me get this out the way. And he talks about, all the people that, you see the flash script with the donations that's gone into this school. Yet, as you're watching these animations, none of these images are of the school that he's quote unquote has built or is building. Now, I've searched the internet. There may be more information out there that I've yet to uncover. But the more you look into it, the more it just looks bad. Notice that all these images, and you'll see a few pop up here, you have images of other schools. Now, I don't know whether he's trying to show us the vision of what he's trying to build, but this does not look like what the current FDMG Academy looks like. Now, as you scroll down, a few more doctored up images. And of course, you got to throw the little black girl in there to garner some sympathy. New campus in Atlanta, I've yet to see that. But I will find that information as well. Now, here you're going to see the funding goals. Now, if you remember correctly, this dude had a video talking about he only got $250,000 in donations, and that was like a few years back. So you mean to tell me that all these people that continue to donate, and even that video where you showed all the donations and gifts, where the famous meme, donations, gifts, like he's damn retarded. You remember that video? That was after he talked about how trifling black people were for not supporting him. So there's a website, no real, you can click on the PayPal link. It's going to take you to where you can donate to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see that there. That's up and running. The only thing running right now. And if you want to look at this shit, man, this has been updated. Because last time I looked through this photo gallery, right? Okay. You know, I work construction, so it's nothing for us to put up a mock room or building. Notice how this is blurred out. You can't really see what the hell's going on. But we do mock-ups of what certain rooms look like all the time. We'll go through a fully constructed room just to show investors and the ownership what it's supposed to look like after, the engineering and stuff like that. So as I scroll up here, we're going to click on book a tour. Notice, this goes nowhere. You can get an email to, that can be completely automated. It'll tell you everywhere you can, it'll give you updates from time to time. People do this all the time. So this is nothing new. Now notice, meetings where? Atlanta, Wilmington, Virginia, where is supposedly a school supposed to go? Where is this going? Where is this? Where? Nothing you can click on here. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So if that doesn't raise a red flag in your mind, I got some more for you. Okay? I got some more for you. Let's take a look at one of the properties supposedly purchased in Wilmington, Delaware. Okay? Delaware. It took me a minute to find this information, but knowing what I know about construction, I know to look for permits, I know to look for deeds, contractors, and so forth, and to see what they worked on. You can find a lot of this information at City Hall as well. This is all public information. Notice, this is 610 17th Street, Wilmington, Delaware. Owner, Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey, RBG International Leadership Academy Incorporated. And they give you a P.O. box, not the physical address of the school. If that doesn't raise, that should raise some eyebrows. It's not the physical address of the school. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, schools have mailboxes. But I digress. Now, exempt commercial. You see all this information here. You can get this all off the newcastle.gov website, where you can look up, here's the parcel number if you want to go directly to it. Make sure you take note of that. And you can look at all of this information here. Let's take a look at the map here. And not much there for the map. Oh, here we go. There's the lot. Now, if one of his videos he showed you, this is the bigger lot. This is the old Moyer or whatever high school. And then across the street is the elementary or middle school, right? They're right across the street from each other. The yellow buildings, if you've seen that video, you know what I'm talking about. Now let's go back. Now I clicked on, building sketches. And then we'll go back to parcel details. And for some reason this is not coming up. Okay. Alright, so let's just go back. High-speed internet, you can't get shit to load, I swear. Now, we're going to scroll down. You can see the fire information. Oh, what do we have here? Deed history. Who owned this place before? Goodwill Industries. I guess they were the people who built the school originally before turning it over to the education system here for $250,000. That was back in '92. So most likely that was when it was built. Okay, if you understand construction, you have the contractor takes over, and then when they turn the building back over, they take ownership, and then they turn the building back over to the original owners, the people paying for the project. Now, here we go again. Turn it over to the school district. And again, $10 given to this place. Probably did some major renovations, and you'll see that in the next screen that I'm going to show you. Some major renovations went through and then sold and became the Maurice J. Moyer Academy in 2013. Now, if you do the math, that was, 10 years ago, okay? And then it was turned back over to K-12 management. K-12 management is a educational system. They have an online campus and so forth. If it's the same company I'm thinking of, they do a lot of homeschooling. They purchased it for $1.25 million. And then all of a sudden they turn it back over to, they get rid of it. I guess they realized the headache it was, as you'll see in the next screen, when I show you the permits and all the construction that went on it. Marcus Garvey Academy. Now, pay attention to this right here. Turned over to Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Now, when we went to FDMG.com, right? He quote unquote raised this money here. There's no transparency. It doesn't show as of date. There's no dates here. There are no dates here. You click on donate, there are no dates. People have been asking for dates and where the money is going and so forth, right? And no one has done anything. No, he has not come. He's avoided the question of how much he's taking in total, where the money is going. But when you come back here and you look at when he got the building, he got it in 2019. Now, mind you, this man has been fundraising since 2010. Almost a decade later, he gets this building here, and he got it for basically free. He got it for free. But nobody's asking the correct questions. He got it for free. And you can look at the taxes that's been paid on it. Excuse me. Tax payments all the way up to this guy right here. If you raise this amount of money, if you raised all that money and you're only, since 2019, you've only paid $35,000 in taxes on a the value of it was $1.25 million building. You got a deal. You got a discount. Now, you can ignore this part where it says year built in 2010, because that's probably a clerical error there. That's when it became, if I'm not mistaken, 2010, where we're at, when they poured a bunch of money into it. And there you go. Now, I do have a tab up here. Let me see if I can find it. Excuse me. As soon as I find this tab, I'll show you that one. Now, your boy wasn't expecting anybody to come in and search to see what's been going on in this place. Okay? Nobody expects you to come back and check the paperwork, as Jason Black always says. Whoops. Let me go back here and pull this real quick. Let's see. 611 East. Now I'm doing all of this on the fly. Excuse me. Here we go. 610 East 17th Street for this particular property. Now, if you don't understand what you're looking at all the permits and fees that are associated with this place. Now, if you cross-reference all this information with what you've seen on the ownership, let's take a look at the details. Plan review, right? So we'll take a look at that. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. This is listed, zoned as light manufacturing. Why is a school listed as light manufacturing? You kind of, you want to ask these questions. And this was for in addition to the place, for them to review the plan and look at the estimated cost of what they were doing on the construction of it. So whoever had this place before, they went through a lot of renovation and so forth. So it's going to take this man, if that's what they paid to get this place up and running for the time it ran, it's going to take Dr. Umar a whole lot of money to get this place running. Alright, here we go. 2 permits. Let's see what we got here. Building permit. Now notice, building permit, $2,000. Okay, we can look at the permit image as well.
You see how Dr. Umar just talk, but he don't show you this.
Certificate of occupancy fee, plus the building permit. Bam, there you go. You don't see anything like that under the Marcus Garvey moniker. Because at this point, it's just a fictional thing that exists. But we can look at some of the inspections that happened on 2009. The foundation failed. It failed.
That's the important part of the
So
building.
that lets you know, with all that renovation and stuff like that, the people who gave this building away pretty much abandoned that. If you really think about it, why would somebody give this building away for $10? Because there's some major issues with that particular building, and you see the estimated cost is $2 million to fix that place. But he went and got it anyway because, hell, it was handed to him. It's going to take him $2 million to get that shit up and running. Meanwhile, he's taking all these trips, getting all these donations. So how much more do I need to show you that this man is a fraud? What he's saying is not matching his daggone mouth, especially on the internet. Oh shit, I forgot to put the E. There we go. Now, if you look at the list of fees he got here versus the people who owned it before, for them to get these permits and inspections and do all this work that need to be done to the school, it costed them a significant amount of money. And there's 2 whole pages of this stuff. So as you go through, you got a $10,000 here, a $5,000, $100, whatever. And you go back here and you look at the Marcus Garvey Foundation, or whatever the hell you want to call it. And that's just for one of the properties. What is this estimate here? Maybe $500-$600? No, not even that. 80, 110, less than $400 in inspections and fees to get the school up and running. And that's for that particular property. Now let's go to the other one. Oh man, logged me out. Alright. Citizen self-service, permits and inspections. Let's go to the other one, 611, because both of these are listed. Alright, now we're getting up there. We're getting more fees, because there's more work being done. Alright, notice, let's see here. Let me go back here to this one. We go back to parcel search. Bring up when he acquired this building.
See, black folks don't check this out. They just hear his
So
talk.
it's pretty much the same deal. He got this building as well. $10. That's basically free. Probably some
$10
paperwork or so forth. $10 freaking dollars. You got 2 properties, $10. There you go. Now we'll go back to our search, our permit search. 611 17th Street. Again, for those who are viewing this video. Let's see. Now, he didn't acquire that building until 2019. Yet, check this out. We are on the first. No, let's go back to the first page. So the first thing he did, because this goes into from the latest to oldest. It's the first thing he did. This one is complete. Building permit, $44. Plumbing, final inspection. So he had the plumbing done. Okay, got it. So he wasn't lying about that part. estimated cost $2,000. And not a whole bunch of pennies coming out of that $250,000 that he supposedly, allegedly, acquired or people donated in for. That's a drop in the bucket, okay? Now we're going to go back to this page. We're going to go look at one of the first items on the first page. Now notice he's had a lot of work done, had people come in, and if you look at when he dropped those videos versus, if you look at the videos that he dropped, and you look at the time frame in which these inspections and permits occurred, you're going to notice that they're pretty close to each other. Now, I don't have the time building rough framing, so if you go back to his website, where we're at, and let's look at some pictures. Shape the future AI. Every link you click on this page, I swear it seems like it sends you to a donation page. This is insane. This is a huge red flag in my book. I'm sure JT, the pocket watcher, will probably get a hold of this video and look at this stuff as well. Because if you follow the money, like old buddy said in The Wire, you don't know where the hell it's going to go. Look at this. Every time you click on a link, I think I'm about to get some information about school supplies and so forth. And this is what you get. Events. And we go right back to that same page. Subscribe. They want your email and everything else. Where's that page with the pictures on it? Look at this shit, man. Where is the pictures? Where is the pictures? All these doctored up images and so forth. Look at this raggedy ass photo. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this shit. This is probably a stock image. This is not what he showed on the video. Even if you squint your eyes, do the little safety squint and look at this. This looks nothing like the academy that he's talking about. This could possibly be what it is, but when you go back and look at the permits, where we at? Permits, where we at? Rough framing and stuff like that. Come on, man. Like, we're not stupid. We are definitely not stupid. Let's see if we got another one here. Let's take a look at this one. Plan review. Let's go back. Basically building plans. You're looking over the prints and plans and what you plan on doing with this place. Let's take a look at this 150 right here. Another plan review. Plan review after plan review. How many is that, right? I gotta stop hitting that button. Okay, so this one. Building permit, electrical roughing. Okay, got it. Let's look at some details. Owner, contractor. Okay. So either he pulled this permit himself because he was doing the work himself, or hired some unofficial hired help there. A lot of times when you go to pull permits to do construction, you can do, owner, contractor. If you want to do your own work on your house, which I recommend, so that when you go to sell the house and you got the plans and stuff that you took down to City Hall, pulled your own homeowner's permit and so forth, I recommend you do that. Helps with selling the house. When they go to do your final inspections or your electrical inspections, you're not left holding the bag. And having to have a contractor come in and notice something. Who's the contractor? What was being done? Fee amount paid, receipt. There's nothing here. It's almost like he pulled a homeowner's permit just to get this done. Electrical final. Paid for it, but there's nothing there. Again, nothing here. Nothing here. So let's go all the way back. Electrical work commercial. Now, if you don't know anything about all this work, this is called commercial work. You got to have a contractor, attached to it. I don't even know how they let him get away with pulling his own permits, and there's no contractor listed. There's got to be an electrical company or something involved in that. Now, this is where we as black men, black professionals, when you hear stupid stuff like that, my ears went up. Like, wait a minute, who did you hire for this? You claiming that you want black folks to get their hands in this, and get their hands dirty and so forth. Oh, here we go. Contractor name Gregory Maleseka. Let's see. Let's do a search on this name. And where it went, I don't know. I'm trying to do a search on it. I'm trying to do a search on it because I was going to show y'all that video from all right, here we go. Meaning, surname of all, occupation, let's see what we got here. Block. Maleseka, name, origin. Check out Ancestry.com. Let's see where that came from. And nothing comes up here. I'm not paying for it. It's probably behind a paywall of some sort. Okay. Now, the last time I seen this name, it was attached to a Spanish guy, or Mexican guy, and I'm gonna leave that. Just by the strength of looking at it, you can tell where that came from. Okay. Now let's go back to this application. Gregory Maleseka. So you can pretty much say that this is Spanish guy. I don't want to be funny or anything, but maybe Dr. Umar was hanging out around Home Depot. I'm just going to say it that way. Okay, I'm just going to say it that way. Maybe he was hanging around Home Depot. I'm just going to throw that out there. There's plenty of guys that do that. They're out of work, they're professionals trying to get their business off the ground, they hang out around Home Depot. Okay? Now we're going to go back. So finally we get a name, and would you look at that? Not a black person, right? So you won't pay your own folks to do anything. Maybe the price is too high. Oh, here we go. Generation Electrical Services. Let's see who these people are. Come on, here we go. About Us. They came out and did the work. And would you look at that? Let's see if we can find the owner. Townsend, Delaware. Contact information. These people probably came out. He probably paid them, but we want to know where's the rest of them. Where's the rest of the money? Applicant name. So they applied for the permit to do the work, and they say it's still active. $16,000 to do some electrical work for this place. Still not up and running. Purchased 4 years ago. 4 years and a couple months to the date. But you're sitting on $250,000, maybe more. Yet no one's seen your books. No one knows where that money exactly went. I can show you a few places where that money probably went. So check this one out. Add one smoke detector. Estimated cost $1,200. Did he pay himself? Because there's no contractor listed here. Add one smoke detector. Estimated cost $1,200. He pulled the permit for that. Maybe this is an attempt at him trying to clean up his books. Now I can go on and on and on and on all day long, but the bottom line is this. When it comes to funding and stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. But I do know one thing. If you have the right people on board with what you're trying to do, and you got investors and you got, panels of people to advise you about how to go about this, then this project should have been done by now. As far as we know, Dr. Umar has not mentioned a staff, hasn't said anything about a staff, or anyone who's supposedly doing work for him. I gotta go digging for the information. And then to find out that he didn't pay much for the building that he got, we want to know where the money is going. people have been asking this man for years, where is the money going? But when you look at his Twitter account, he's in a different city damn near every week, it seems like. And all we want this man to do, since you want black men to take responsibility, be accountable for everything, how about you be accountable for where this damn money went? Because I was one of the people who donated back in 2010. And then people started asking questions. The money has gone nowhere. Except in your pocket is what I believe. Now I demand that you come forward and let us know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep talking and telling people about how the construction world works. And it's going to make you look even worse. Matter of fact, I might just do that anyway. Because of all those people I named, all these consultants and so forth, about how to proceed and stuff like that, I don't see any record of any of it on here. You haven't showed us no blueprints, no plans. You haven't even hinted at anything. Like it would be so easy if you had the information for us, for you to show us a 3D model of what the school is supposed to look like, because most engineering firms and stuff like that who do renovations and stuff, they will show you the models. They have artists do mock-ups of what it's supposed to look like, and they give you the estimates and the cost. You haven't showed us any of the bids for these construction companies to come in and do work. You're just freewheeling it. Just paying whatever to get this thing up and running instead of doing it the right way. So while you sit here and point your fat fingers at everybody else not doing what they're supposed to do, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and yet you're taking money from those who are the most vulnerable and susceptible.
Are you wasting money on unwanted subscriptions? I have lots of monthly subscriptions. Streaming, music, news sites. Now I can see them in one place. And the ones I forgot about? Experian can cancel them for me. So I went to Experian. They actually helped lower my monthly bills. Phone, internet. Experian did the work. Helped me take control of my money. You could save $670 a year when you cancel unwanted subscriptions and lower your monthly bills. Get started now at Experian.com/save.
Redefine web hosting with Bluehost Cloud, the new platform built for WordPress creators by WordPress experts. Lightning-fast websites, 100% network uptime, 24/7 priority tech support. Experience Bluehost Cloud at Bluehost.com.
Grace and peace, everybody. Grace and peace. This is Dear Woke Christian. This is going to be a one and done today. And hopefully we can keep this thing with under 10 minutes because it's just such a dumb topic that I really don't believe that I have to talk about it. But first of all, shout out to the podcasters here in Atlanta called Hardly Initiated. Recently, and Hardly Initiated does podcasts centered around male and female relationships, dating, so on and so forth. They have a very popular platform. Shout out to those brothers over there at Hardly Initiated. They're here in Atlanta, and apparently they're doing really good stuff. So shout out to that. They've had some great interviews, and I'm going to react, however, to one of their interviews that they had recently, Umar Johnson. And the reason I want to talk about this is because first of all, I don't believe that Umar Johnson is as profound and prolific as people like to project him out to be. I don't believe that. I do believe that he says some things sometimes that do set, that seem to be well received, and that's cool. But he says things that are so bombastically racially charged a lot of the time, it wouldn't get a pass if a white person said it. And that's usually my litmus test. If somebody says something is that out of pocket, if a white person said it, then a black person shouldn't say it, then a brown person shouldn't say it, other people shouldn't say it. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we shouldn't think like that. But even worse than that, Umar Johnson speaks about two topics in this little clip that we're going to look at that he has he has zero authority in these two spaces. And those two spaces are family and church. I have no idea why these brothers ask him that. Truly, I don't even know why they're asking him about dating at all. But I pulled this clip out and I want to talk about it. So, with no further ado, this is going to be a one and done, by the way. So we're going to get this done and we're going to go get y'all out of here. Looks good. Let's have some fun. Let's go.
Let me ask this question here because, I think this is a very important part of our platform. We've brought a lot of, people up from the Christian background.
Okay.
We brought people up from Muslim backgrounds.
Okay.
And I truly do, because we talk about all aspects of relationships, and
Okay.
your spiritual belief systems are connected to your value systems.
They are. They are.
That's why those, spiritual leaders, bringing them up, are vitally important.
True.
Are prominent and can bring some real gain to the conversation.
True.
But see, I want to talk to you in particular about the black church in general,
Okay.
because I know
Okay.
you've had some, perspectives and opinions about it. Just in
Okay.
general.
I want them to shout out to the brothers Hardly Initiated. My name is Jason. I live right here in Marietta, Georgia. Have me on your show so I can talk about being a chef at a 4-star, 5-star restaurant. I want to talk about that. Or have me on your show and talk about deep sea scuba diving recovery. I want to talk about that. I got some experience with that. Well, clearly they would not have me on the show to talk about those things because I'm not a 5-star chef, because I'm not a deep sea scuba diving instructor or whatever of that nature. Why in the world would you ask Umar Johnson about the church and he's not a Christian? I'm just saying, because and the reason I say that is because you're going to see very quickly his answers show you he has no idea what the church is supposed to do. But let him show you.
As far as the black church and the role that is currently played and where we are economically, relationally, with our families, do you feel like it should have, or it has played the role that it should have played?
Not since the assassination of Dr. King.
I will say that since King actually shifted the purpose of the church away from its actual mission, because this young man right here talking about economics and finance and all these other things, it's not the purpose of the church. It's not. You see nowhere in scripture that is the purpose of the church. And I think it's fair to say that if God wanted the church to be doing that, he would make it very clear and demonstrably clear this is what the church is supposed to be doing. It's not. So let us continue.
That Dr. King was assassinated and buried a few days later here in Atlanta, Georgia. The black church, out of fear, retreated from the front lines of the struggle, and it reinvented itself away from being an organization of agitation to an organization of accommodation.
Where's the church told to do any of that? Agitation, accommodation, retreating, withdrawal, advancing. Where are we told to do that? Why are you actually listening to Umar Johnson?
Now the black church accommodates the agenda the white power structure has for us. Before we fought. Now, let's go have a cup of tea with the president. Let's go have a cup of tea with the government and see if we can get a couple crumbs from what he's about to do. Although what he's about to do is going to destroy our community. You see that? There's no more fight in the black church. The black church is more parasitic and exploitative of the black community than the Chinese stop and go.
I'm gonna push back in a couple of ways. Umar Johnson is just as bad and just as parasitic as anything else that he points his fingers at. And I will talk about that in a moment. But because he doesn't understand what the purpose of and the mission of the church is, he's going to, in a moment, he's going to speak so negatively about it because all he can understand is right now, right here. And he doesn't understand what the purpose of the church is. But let him prove it out.
In the Latino bodega. The difference between the Latino bodega and the Chinese stop and go and the Walmart and every place else we shop is at least you get something for your money. What do you get back from the black church when you invest? We give the black church $3 million every Sunday collectively in this country. Show me a black church with a supermarket.
Okay, real quick. Is that now? Umar Johnson has a big problem about the fact that black church, as he calls it, receives donations, contributions, and such of that nature. I think it's very interesting. Umar Johnson has, and we'll talk about at school in a moment, he spent a lot of time, better than a decade, trying to get a school started with no staff, no students, and no support or backing whatsoever. So you must realize that part of his issue with the church is that they're probably not supporting his ideas. They're probably not supporting what he wants them to do. And in a moment, he's going to say what churches should be doing if they bring in a certain amount of money. This is what they need to be doing. Watch this.
For the people. Show me a black church with a bank for the people. Show me a black church with a manufacturing and distribution network to hire out men and women. Show me a black church with a black school that children who are not Christian or Muslim or Hebrew can go to.
But is that the responsibility of the church, though?
It was.
That's a great question, my guy. That's the question on the table. That's it. And I think, I don't know the faith systems of the hosts for Hardly Initiated, but that is a dope question. Let me back it up just a little smidgen, because I want to hear that again. Right?
Hey there, Jane. How are those job descriptions coming? Look.
Yo, this is your boy Ringo back again with another video, Ringo TV Reactions. What we're going to pretty much be talking about right here is a situation where Dr. Umar pretty much was pandering towards a woman, telling her what she want to hear, not holding her accountable, and basically dancing around the issues that are facing a lot of men in today's day. And I just want to share my commentary and criticism about this. So let's take a look at this particular tape so that we can understand what's going on. First thing first, let me get the introduction of this particular woman who came in on the show, and she asked a question. And what I want you to get is the intricate details of, number one, her age, number two, the age of her children, and what she believes and her position on relationships. Because without that information, then if you hear her question, you're just gonna become emotional like most women would, and not really grasp the main core issue at hand on why the way in which Dr. Umar responded was not healthy, and it wasn't good, especially for women of her caliber who is not really taking accountability in her own life, but more so want to focus her issues on all black men. Because a lot of times you have podcasts that allow stuff like this to fly, and they really don't check the woman and set any sort of order in terms of holding them accountable, because they want to build a female-based audience. It's very, very sad, but this happens a lot on social media. So let's listen to the tape of her introducing herself. I'm going to play the audio, which is not going to be showing a video on the screen. You'll hear the audio in the background. Let's go.
You said Tanya been in there waiting?
Yeah.
Alright, well look, Tanya, you have been summoned. You about to come on Hardly Initiated?
Get that mic right, Tanya.
Get your mic right, Tanya. What's up with you, sweetheart?
Hi, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you perfectly.
I love that excitement.
If you can, go ahead and start here with your age, your location, and your question.
Alright, my name is Tanya. I am 49 and I'm in South Carolina. I have 4 daughters. I was married for 21 years. I've been divorced for about 7 years. And I'm not interested because I think I'm doing what Dr. Umar Johnson says, is giving off that don't talk to me energy. But anyway, I'm not interested in my relationship. I'm more interested in my daughters. So my girls are about to be 29, 27, 21, 22, and 20.
29, 27, 22, 20.
I want to be able to, because their dad is kind of whatever, that relationship is what it is. But
they always say that.
I'm encouraging that relationship with their father, but I can't really do anything. So how are we as parents able to mimic good relationships, but also how are we able to help our daughters when there's an absence of good male role models, to be able to give the knowledge that they need to be able to put themselves out there in a healthy manner, to be able to get a relationship, marry, have children, and give back to the black community.
You see, now, what I want you to get is just the intro of her talking about her daughter's ages and so forth, right, before we start to cook. Now, I'm going to do a live stream about this, but I want to make a short version of this to kind of give people, a little appetizer on exactly where we're going. Now, she is talking about how her daughter, one of her daughters is 27. I forgot the ages, but they're all in their 20s, right? From the early 20s to the late 20s. And she's now talking about having some sort of role model in their life. Don't you think it's too late for that now? Like, these young ladies are in their 20s, and it's almost like she's looking for a male role model or something, a father figure, to come in and give them the proper direction that they would need in order to have a successful relationship in life with another man in terms of marriage. And this is a problem, because what it suggests is that the guy that she was with was either no good from the beginning, but she's trying to get him to step up to some sort of plate, or it could mean that she drove him away, and now that she drove him away because of her own insecurities and issues, now later in life, now she want that very same man to come in with a smile on his face to, I guess, do a job that really is not even necessary anymore. I mean, these young ladies are in their late 20s, early 20s. They had that opportunity when dad was around. She said she was married for 20 plus years, divorced for around 7. We know she's the one who filed for divorce based on the introduction of the video, and it's very unfortunate. But I want to play the tape on the screen now that you know the main core issues regarding her age, her daughter's ages, and so forth. Let's get into the message that the question that she really asked, because that question, he's going to answer that question, but we're not going to hear it in this particular segment on this. We'll probably play that when I go live later on, because I want this video to be a little short. So I'm going to get into her second question. Let's go.
Father and their father is no longer together? Even though you and her father and their father is no longer together? Can y'all do some family activities with him? You and him and them. Not that y'all getting back together.
Now, let me pause for a second. Again, we're talking about ladies. We're talking about grown women. These daughters of hers are in their late 20s and early 20s. These are not little kids. So the way Dr. Umar is talking right here is as if though this woman have 4-year-olds and 7-year-olds and 10-year-olds. No, nobody ain't doing this. So this is unrealistic. Like, seriously, you're not gonna get a guy that you divorced and you and him are gonna come together and have some sort of family this and family that. It's not gonna happen. That's unrealistic what he's telling this woman. But let's go.
But I would love for your girls to see that mom and dad can still care about each other and treat each other with respect, although they are divorced.
That's not gonna happen, because once again, you're just being fake. And I think that Umar knows this, but again, he loves to pander towards women. This is what he definitely does all the time. He wants the parents to be fake. Rather than keep it at 1,000 with the viewers and the audience, he's selling them lies. And this is a problem. I see this happening all the time. Listen, if a woman divorces her husband, it's because she don't like him anymore and she don't respect him. So to be around the man and acting as if though we all can respect one another even after a divorce is BS, because you don't respect one another. That's why she filed for divorce. You get what I'm saying? In other words, guys, once a woman leaves you, right, and she don't want to have nothing to do with you, then it's over at that point. There's no friendships, there's no communication. We're done. You get what I'm saying? So for him to suggest that they should do things together so that the children could see that they still have respect for one another even though there was a separation, that's being fake. And all of you ladies that are viewing, you know it's being fake. Come on now. Come on.
That would work miracles for them, because you know what that would show them? Even if we don't make it, we can still be friends.
You can't be friends, because men and women are not friends. Guys, none of us are trying to be friends with women. And to you ladies, you have to understand that men are not trying to be your friends. You understand? Men are trying to take your clothes off. A man, when he holler at you, his goal is to smash. There's no way around it. We're not here to sugarcoat. Guys are not interested in women because they want to play golf. They want to sleep with you. You know this. That's why you're always online, showing off your tail, trying to look provocative, trying to show somebody your curve, always worried about what you look like, Why? Because you're trying to attract a man, or you're just typically competing with other women. But nonetheless, this is the game.
Because we have too many relationships in the black community that when they're over, we almost feel like everything got to be toxic.
It is toxic. It's not that it has to be toxic. See, again, Dr. Umar is just not keeping it real with you. He's making it seem like we're purposely trying to be toxic. Listen, once you and a woman break up, it's over. You no longer like each other, so you're not trying to be friends. She's not trying to be friends with the new woman you got. You get what I'm saying? And you're not trying to be friends with the new man she got. You understand? We're done. So it's not about us trying to be toxic. And it's sad that Umar is making it seem as if though this is like a black thing, like in the black community, like we're all delusional and toxic, and this is how we are, as if though every other relationship in the world is all civilized and they know how to break up and they're all friends. That's how he's putting it. Let's go.
You know, we have this energy that if the relationship is over, it gotta be toxic. Why do we have to separate with negative energy? Why can't we just come to the conclusion that we outgrew each other, but we can still care about each other? We have to stop the toxicity. But I would love to see you do some things with him in the presence of your daughters.
See, again, he's pandering to the woman, telling her what she want to hear, which is typical of what these Christian pastors do in these churches. They just make it seem as if though the man is the problem, and as if though the woman is the one that's trying to get the relationship to work, when really she's the one who ended the relationship. And a lot of times, ladies, you don't understand exactly what you do. If you file divorce, right, from a man and you separate, right, at that point, that man don't want to have nothing to do with you because you disrespected him. You left. So now that you left and you wanted to be single, right, now don't call me no more. I don't care what's going on with these kids. They're grown now. Don't call me for anything, because at this point, we don't really have a relationship because you separated. And this is the problem in society, is that women will file for divorce, and then after they file for divorce, they still want this connection with the man to be this active, successful father in all of these kids' lives. Ladies, you have to understand something. When you file for divorce and you separated, it causes a rift in the relationship where the man is going to be like, look, I'm done with you and them kids. And this is just something serious that you have to understand. Even if the kids are grown, he's going to be done. Because number one, we don't know the circumstances between her and the man that she was with. We just don't know that. What we do know is that she's the one who filed for divorce. She's the one that don't want to have nothing to do with no relationship. She's the one that don't even care about her relationship with the man. She's more interested in the relationship that the man have with the kids. But she don't realize that her actions and hatred for that man is what pushed him away, where he don't want to have nothing to do with nobody. But when she come on the air, it'll make her look like this good woman who is just a single mother struggling. Her daughters are older, they have no guidance. Where was this conversation when she was married with that particular man? Where was the conversation of her having the father of the children guide them and build them up so that they're prepared for life? Where was that conversation back then? See, they bring up these issues now because they want to make the man look like he's a problem. And then what women typically do on social media is they generalize all black men as if though this is how we all are. Let's go.
I agree. I appreciate that. And can I ask you one more thing?
Now check it out now. Check out her question now.
You elaborate on that, because one question I did ask him when we did have a moment of common sense and we were able to talk was,
because they always were arguing.
How is it that men are so easily able to move into a new relationship with another woman and choose to, as hard as that can be sometimes, and choose not to work on their relationship with their children?
Do you see how she just did that? Now again, she's the one who filed for divorce to leave the man. But she's asking, why is it so easy for him to move on with a new relationship with a new woman? Why? Because that's what's really bothering her. But she's expecting the man to be so involved in the children's lives as if though that's what he should be doing. No. Because as a woman, you have to understand, Once you file for divorce and you shut that relationship off, the guy is going to go move on with a new woman. He's going to get that new woman pregnant, and he's going to have new babies. And those babies are young and small, and they need his attention. Your daughters are grown. You chose to leave your man. You chose to separate, so you severed that union that was there. So why would you ask another man? Why is it that black men do this, as if though this is what black men do in general? Are you seeing the generalizations that she's pulling here? And nobody's really checking her on, well, this is an isolated issue between you and your ex. This is not an issue that reflects black men as a whole. So we don't really want to generalize black men as if though this is what they do. My point in giving you this breakdown is the fact that if a woman separates from a man, she have to now be responsible with the consequences that come with that. Because we don't know how their relationship ended. It could have ended on bad terms. It could have ended on some real bad terms where she said some very harsh things to this man. And he moved on. And she just don't understand how is it that he was able to so easily move on, find a new woman, and he's happy while she's single and miserable. And this is typical of what happens in a lot of relationships.
So this is your favorite person, and so let's just see what he's got to say, because he always has something interesting to say. I think he was
really interesting to Snow Buddy.
But I think he secretly wants a Snow Buddy. But he doesn't have a black bunny. Well, I do know that. So he may be secretly on the download looking for a Snow Bunny. But anyway, let's see what he says.
Why you don't have a black woman? Because I fell in love with a white woman, not a black. Why did you fall in love with a black? I fell in love with a black woman. We broke up. Okay, and why did you find and fall in love with another black woman? I did that too. We broke up. Okay. And why did you get another one and another one and another one until you found the right one? Because I met a white woman that I fell in love with, and that's the person that you're being disingenuous about. That's not true. And let me tell you what you're being disingenuous about. True. Romance is a function of focus and opportunity.
Focus and opportunity. That's what romance is, a function of focus and opportunity. And so, evidently...
What if you're really focused but you don't get the opportunity?
Or you could have the opportunity and not be really focused.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get the opportunity but not really focused. But anyway, it sounded great. Sounds good. Actually, I like to hear him talk sometimes because it sounds really good. That make a lot of sense.
So fast.
Yeah, they sped the video up.
Well, I know that, but I mean, saying it's so fast, I'm having a hard time catching all the words.
It's because you've been drinking tonight. That might have something to do with it. You started drinking an hour ago. But anyway.
If I want to date an Asian, I'm going to put myself around Asian women so I can find one. If I want to date a Latino, I'm going to put myself around Latino women so I can date one. If you wanted to marry a black woman, you would have put yourself around black women so you can find one. So how did you end up with the Caucasian? No disrespect to her. No, not at all.
What do you think the answer is going to be to that? If you want to be around black women, you put yourself around black women. If you want to be around Asian women, you put yourself around Asian women. If you want to be around Caucasian women, you put yourself where? Around where?
Caucasian women?
But what if the Caucasian woman put herself around black people? Would you still be as much of a traitor if the white woman was in the black space versus you going to white spaces to meet the white woman? I mean, what do you think? Does it make sense to you? Because you...
No, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, the whole color thing honestly does not make sense to me. Like, okay, maybe everybody should just stay in their own space. What I hear, it's not the white people. It's the black people that want to keep the black people with the black people.
The only black people that I know that want to keep black people are the black people online.
Well, he said the black people should stay around the black people to meet a black person, and the white people should stay around the white people.
No, he said black people should stay around black people. He's not talking about the white people.
Well, he said if you want to meet a white person, then you go around the
focus. Remember, focus and opportunity. That's his main thing. Focus and opportunity will find you love. Same color love. Same race love.
What I'm telling you is the places that I go socially are not just monolithic. So what? I went to a white college, white job. I never bunny hopped.
It sounds like a cool dance. Bunny hopped? Bunny hopping. It sounds like a cool dance. But you know what he did do? He didn't bunny hop, but he black woman hopped.
Stevie, if anybody know about me and another woman being physical, she ran her damn mouth. It never comes from me. If she wanted to bless me with a royal cookie, nobody would ever know. Women talk too much, y'all talk too much, y'all talk too much. And some men talk too much. Some men gotta tell their homies every time they get some cookies. I don't do that. My personal intimacies with the queendom is between me and that queen. I have never ever never divulged who I've been intimate with.
Because from my understanding,
I was trying to think of a word, but I was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna do that.
Yeah, you might not want to do that.
I could do one anyway. Like I think it was like a black cat.
Because from my understanding, he has 2 baby mamas, which means that he hopped 2 baby mama black women and then settled down and still's out here tricking because he evidently has it because he ain't built his school yet.
Listen to my question. Let me answer you. That wasn't my priority. My priority wasn't, I'm not closed off to dating Latino women. I'm not closed off to dating Asian women. I'm not closed off to dating white women. So again, in my search for romance, all of those things were on the table.
But you do understand that by not being with a black woman, undermine the success of the black community.
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion. Then tell me how the black community benefits from you having a white woman.
You can benefit more from my economics than my black people. With my money, and you got your money. I have my money. Does my money benefit the white people in your life more than your white money benefits my black people in my life?
I want to believe that I supported you in a way that allowed you to go out and make more money and get more accounts to hire more black people.
But
So I think that I've actually helped your people.
you can't say your people.
Your people.
But
Your community.
But ultimately, where is my money going? Because you, as a white woman, is spending my black dollars and
No, I'm spending my white dollars. I'm spending my snow money.
So where's my money going then? Where's my money?
To your community, to your employees,
Yeah, but
to the things you like to drive, to the things you like to build.
my dollars right now are now going to a bunch of black people who are charging me exorbitant rate to build a building. But that's still not good enough though, because you still have access to my black dollars. From what he's saying.
I was gonna say, says who?
I don't know. Do we have separate bank accounts?
We have separate bank accounts.
We do. But you have access to my account. You have access to my account, and I don't have access to your account.
Right, but you can have access to my account, and I do have access to your dollars, but I have my own dollars. Thank you.
My money is being whitewashed right now.
But yeah,
If I lend to the financial
it's like John saying.
uplifting of that community, one, that's one thing. Two, if I'm helping to educate the people in that particular community, that's a benefit.
Does not your white woman benefit more from your economics than any black person?
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
So why can't they both be mutually beneficial?
You want to know why? Because she belongs to the group that is responsible for the historical oppression of your race.
So
why would you voluntarily go over and marry into that? Because when you marry the woman, you don't just marry the woman or date the woman. You're dating her community and her culture. And given the history of us and them, why would you dare align yourself with that if you care about us?
I'm dating, not just you, I'm dating your community and your culture.
Yes.
How's that going for us? Have I been accepted into your community and your culture? I don't know. Have I? I don't think I've ever ran these guys out in public. Maybe.
Because they don't go out.
Yeah, they live online. And so, but anyway, they want to be all pro-black and everything. Here's the thing, I'm actually okay with people wanting to be pro-black.
For sure. If that's what works for you and that's what you want, but it's kind of like a religion. Like, don't try to push your beliefs on other people.
Oh no, I mean you can spread your beliefs, but it's one of the things when you start to condemn and criticize other people just because of their beliefs. And so I never have a problem with anybody as their beliefs, but when you start to tell me what my beliefs are wrong, and it's even like with religion, like it's like Christians trying to tell Muslims they're wrong, Muslims trying to tell Christians wrong. But when you try to infringe on my right to believe what I want to believe, that's when I have a issue. But the funny thing with him is that he is such an eloquent preacher when he's talking about other people's problems. So I, as Dr. Umar, can tell you what you need to do, but me as Dr. Umar am not living the way that I'm preaching that you should live.
Not at all, Umar. Just not at all. After all, you did not do anything for the black community. But what you did do is create 2 single moms that you did not marry. So when you want to say that successful black men don't value black women, we need to put your ass in that category too, because you did not marry none of your kids' moms.
I don't know how that's building the black community, but I know what it is doing is creating a lot of baby mamas with no real fathers, baby daddies, but no fathers. But but that is better in building the black community than somebody being with someone of a different race and settling down and actually having a true family. So for the last, I guess, 6 months to a year, I have been hearing about this whole passport bro movement, which has been black men going overseas to find women. And Dr. Umar, from my understanding, has supported passport bros. A lot of these other, pro-blacks have supported passport bros. But from what I have seen, these passport bros have been traveling to other places of foreign, exotic, non-black women. And so I just find it a little confusing sometimes as that, the biggest thing is that you as a black man can do what you want to do and you can date who you want to date as long as it's not a white woman. That's pretty much what it boils down to. As long as you're with, Hispanic, Latina, yada yada. Now you can go as a passport bro and you can trick it off and you can go out there and slang king and try to be a player and end up getting robbed and sometimes worse. But as long as you are not dating the snow bunny devil white woman. So I just find it comical. And then, even in the black community, what I'm saying, as long as you're out here, creating baby mamas and having babies everywhere, but as long as you're not dating a white woman, as long as you're, keeping your black dollars, which a lot of you may not even be paying child support. I would actually wonder if Dr. Umar paid child support for these two kids that he has by these women. Maybe he can't open his school that he's taken all these funds in for all these years because he's been paying all this back child support on these two kids with these women. He has helped the black community very well by just taking y'all's money and tricking it on these other black women. So he's giving back to the community. He's almost like he's a Robin Hood. He steals from the black men and then he takes the money.
Who made the donations?
I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of black women.
You sure about that?
Anyway,
maybe he's into some kind of I don't know, DEI, equal rights. Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe you have those, a lot of white people who are putting their money towards it.
You think he's taking white dollars? You think he's taking white dollars?
You take the white dollar.
And he's taking it and he's
take from anybody.
Maybe. So that would be interesting. You think if white people were donating to Dr. Umar and they were donating large sums of money, that he would turn it down? Maybe he's so pro-black that he wouldn't take white money because that would just whitewash his message. Honestly, I think this is just a good comedy show. I think he's a comedian. I think he has switched from being an educator, being a counselor, and whatever it is, to being a comedian. But at the end of the day, I don't know. What do you think about this guy? Does he speak truth to power? What's Ice-T's wife? What is her name? What's Ice-T's Coco? Do you think if Coco met him and nobody knew about it, that Dr. Umar wouldn't partake in Coco?
Is that my preferred body type? Of course. 5'5" thick in the thighs is Dr. Umar's preferred body type. I love curvy women. That's me. That's me. I like the jeans tight. That's me. I like the bosoms. That's me.
That's the thing. I almost feel like he might have tried to be with a snow bunny, and it might not have worked out for him.
Probably didn't.
And this is why he's anti.
That may be the thing. He may have got turned down by some snow bunnies in his younger life, and maybe he's just out here anti-snow bunny now.
Something happened. For him to be that bitter, something happened.
Do you think Dr. Umar would turn Coco down if nobody knew about it?
Now you see what I'm talking about. Look at his character. His character comes into play. I mean, he's a joke. I mean, everything is advice to women, and that was just a few commentaries. There are more stuff I could make another video about him, but it's just that they're showing you the proof of his character, and some of these people still donating. And what he does, ladies and gentlemen, that he fast talk. It's kind of like he's persuasive. He know how to coordinate and use his words. And I think that's what he do to some people. And they really think that, he really know what he's talking about. And then when you see the videos, when most people who have logic and sense listen to it, they know that there's something don't add up. So there you have it. So hey, well you choose what you choose, who you follow. But really, it's good to use discernment, ask questions, do research before giving your money. Listen to somebody. Go do research and double check what someone say. That would be my advice. Don't just take somebody's word because especially when you see their character, tells a whole lot. Now, my question is to the people out there that follow Umar, think that he's fascinating doctor. What professional do you know conduct themselves like that? Even when they talk off camera, even when they talk off subject. What professional you know talk like that? You see that he goes to a certain demographic of low-minded people, and that's what he preys upon. The ones that don't know, but the ones that got sense and to read his game, he feels a threat to. And that's the truth. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. Like and subscribe. Until next time, take care. And there'll be more material coming, but it just keep getting realer and realer, huh? Alright then, be blessed. Take care.